Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jennifer Perri, the founder and CEO of SHERO Life and Empowerment Coaching, a company dedicated to guiding women through life's transitions, particularly focusing on divorce recovery, financial empowerment, and personal transformation. Jennifer is a certified divorce and empowerment coach, financial therapist, and a five-time best-selling author. Five-time best-selling author. Her journey from personal adversity to professional triumph has inspired countless women to reclaim their power and rewrite their stories. Jennifer, welcome to Founders Future.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm super excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. Take us back to before you started your company. What were you doing at that time? Help us understand, and then also help us understand what was the motivation behind starting the company.
For sure. So Shira was an evolution. She started out, I would say I started out coming out of being in a really horrible first marriage
Mm,
and escaping that, thank God, with two small children in tow, but zero relationship whatsoever with money. At that point in time, I had spent a decade in just a horrible situation. So I had no self-worth, found no value in myself at all, and
mm,
had zero connectivity at all with my financial life. My ex-husband went to prison, so I had to figure out with two small children how I was going to make ends meet. So for me, I knew that I needed to build a relationship with money, and that's where my career started. So I got myself together and worked three jobs and started making sense of financially what I needed to do, and then sought out a career in finance. And that was 29 years ago. And that just evolved up to where we are now with Shiro, because over those 20 some years, I was helping women transition from divorce and trauma from a financial perspective, but
yeah.
then was coaching them at the same time. And then when COVID hit, and then I had a big life event happen in my own life, I made a full switch on to coaching.
Really? Are you comfortable sharing what happened that made you have that switch?
For sure.
Yeah.
So when COVID happened, obviously everybody was isolated and we all were scared. Nobody knew what was going on, didn't know how to make sense of things. So my clients from my financial family weren't reaching out to me worried about their money. They were reaching out about, oh my gosh, what does this mean now for life? Yeah, I had clients that were losing spouses and children, and a lot of stuff was just happening that was just not familiar for people. So I found myself coaching more from you're going to get through this. Let's take a deep breath and stand back and all. And along that, probably about a year after that, it was December of 2021. And I woke up one morning not feeling well. And within 3 days, was diagnosed with Guillain-Barre syndrome that came as a result of my vaccines. And I was paralyzed within probably geez, from diagnosis to full totally being paralyzed was probably 8 days. So I was paralyzed from essentially my face all the way down to the tips of my toes
Oh my God.
and was temporarily stuck that way for about 30 days. I was able to get movement, but spent the 50th year of my life learning how to walk again, learning how to drive, learning how to take care of myself. So that at that point in time, I realized, hey, if you get out of this, we don't know that with the uncertainty of what that means. Am I
Mhm.
going to be able to service my clients the same way? So at first, I was pretty quiet on what was going on with me, but then I just opened it up and I brought my entire clients and social media family with me, and they went through my recovery just to say, hey, listen, no matter what mountain you're facing, you can move it if you have the right mindset and you're surrounded by the right people. So I knew that coming out of that, it was going to look different for me. While people were helping me learn how to walk again, I was coaching doctors and therapists, and we were having these conversations about well, they had made decisions in life they would have done different.
Mm,
And so I was coaching them when they were helping me, and I just knew that it was my calling, and that was why I faced what I faced was to help other women say, hey, listen, I've been here, I can do it.
wow. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing and being open and vulnerable with that because I know that you going through that, just the way that you were explaining it, the mentality that you had around it, that hey, if I can go through this and I can come out on the other side stronger, then other people can too. And even helping the doctors that were helping you out in some way, shape, or form, that's super cool. So, for the listeners that know nothing about your business, because your story is super, super fascinating, I'm sure they want to learn a little bit further. Like, at SHERO, who is your ICP? Who do you love to work with? And then what does that actually look like with someone working with you? Is that one-on-one coaching? Is that group coaching? Walk me through that a little bit further.
For sure. So, working with me can happen one of two ways. You can either work with me one on one,
Okay.
or you can come alongside of thousands of other people that are working with me in a group coaching capacity. I'm launching a brand new membership that has
Okay.
my own personal courses in there. So you can come in and learn about how to unlock your millionaire mindset, how to live a truly authentic life, how
Love
to make, radical shifts in limiting beliefs that you have. So, because of what happened to me, I had to look at more of a one to many approach. And that's when we started to figure out how to scale my business in a way that would allow my voice to reach more people, since my time and my ability to service clients one on one changed.
it. Yeah. So that was a recent endeavor, like the group coaching. It wasn't always around?
No, it wasn't. I was doing one on one coaching for probably post Guillain-Barre diagnosis. I was still doing one-on-one coaching, but along with what happened to me comes energy. The
Yeah.
energy level is a little different, and my ability to service as many people. There's only so many hours in a day. So it really came out of probably about a year and a half ago. I met a business strategist who sat me down and said, "Hey, listen, you are amazing. What you do is incredible, but we have to find a way that you can reach more women, not only reach more women, but also reach more women at different levels of confidence. So somebody who may not be confident starting back to where I was may
Yeah.
not be looking at it and saying, hey, I can invest thousands of dollars to work with a coach. So I had to meet them where they were at. I had to make sure that I had things that were priced to what they felt confident that they were worth, which sounds
Yeah.
horrible, but that's true. That's where it is, into an evolution of you can work with me one on one for a higher ticket.
Got it. Very cool. So let's say I am obviously it's not geared toward me, but let's say I'm a woman listening to this and I'm interested in this and maybe I want to start off at the lower ticket one, lowest ticket one. What does a typical client journey working with you look like from start to finish? Are we working together for 3 months? Do I have lifetime access to the courses and then specific access to the coaching? What does that look like?
That's a great question. I never want to limit access to myself from anyone. And I know that may sound like you have to at certain periods of time. Maybe you do, but I have a free Facebook group. I show up in there once or
Uh,
twice a week. If you are just at that point where you just need connectivity, you need to feel in community, you can come into my free Facebook group. If you go into one of my courses, you have lifetime access to my courses. You can go through the courses on your own pace because I know life happens in the middle of it. Or you can add me on as somebody who's there to encourage you and hold you accountable and cheer you on. I do have some very high level executives who will book me out for a day or two and just say, we need to unpack my life. You need to pull it together and help me figure out where to go next. So I
yeah.
do have that, but everything is based on my CAPE method, which is for clarity and confidence, alignment and authenticity,
Mm,
passion and purpose, and empowered execution. So everything, no matter where you come in, that's all going to be the framework that it's all built on.
I like that. Do you want to repeat that one more time? Because you went
Yes.
through that kind of pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So you
It's
got
the CAPE method.
yeah.
And that's for clarity and confidence,
Okay.
alignment and authenticity, passion and purpose, and empowered execution.
I love that. That's powerful. It's on your website as well. Clarity and
If you
confidence.
notice, there's a Wonder Woman theme, there's a superhero theme through everything that I do because I feel that every single woman has a hero within her.
Mm,
And that's what comes out. So that's why my method is based on a cape.
I love that. Do you work with specific types of women in the sense like executives or founders or CEOs, or is it just across the board?
That's another great question. It's across the board because when I noticed that I was trying to really niche down to one particular type of woman, I had people outside of that saying, but can you work with me? Can you work with me? Because what it really comes down to with women, no matter what level of success she's at, is somebody to be there to cheer her on, to help her believe in herself before many of my clients borrow my beliefs before they're even able to believe in themselves. And then they take them over at some point. But
Mm,
it's also about just the level of accountability and having somebody who's by your side, who's invested in your success, who really can have the hard conversations with you from a place of love and understanding.
yeah.
So yes, I would say I serve as a woman coming right out of an abusive marriage or a single mom, all the way up to a woman who's making seven figures, because as women, there are things that are, it's a similar thread that runs through who we are just as women. So I can reach somebody on every level.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. What is your, if we were to shift over from a business perspective, what does your lead generation process look like? You mentioned you have a free Facebook group. What else are you doing to bring women into your ecosystem and to have them come on as clients?
I have a lot of people who refer to me. One of the businesses that I have is Divorce Divas, and it is literally just bringing together divorce professionals and experts to be there to best support a client. So, in those relationships, I have built incredible relationships with the divorce attorneys, CPAs, CDFAs. So, I have a probably up until I started diving into the social media world, I was 100% referral. So, whether it was coming from an existing client who was saying, hey, you've got to work with Jennifer, or one of my partners or colleagues that were referring my way. Now I do a lot on social media. I have over 1 million followers on Instagram. I have a lot
Wow.
of people who they just like, they like that I'm a real person and I have been very transparent about my life, my
Yeah.
struggles. And it's not all about trying to get the perfect picture that you put on social media. It's about showing the ugly too.
Yeah. 1 million followers on Instagram. Good for you. When
Thank
did
you.
you start really taking that seriously?
Probably about a year and a half ago. I'm also a documentary filmmaker with Abundant Studios. So
Okay.
as we were releasing different movies, I was getting a lot of people that were following me just from the stories that we were sharing. And then I've done a couple books with some really big name people. Dick Vitale, I wrote a book with him. I wrote a book with Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah.
And I just recently released a book with Lisa Nichols, who is a dear friend. And so I think you start picking up their audience, you pick up their energy, and I've just met a lot of incredible people.
Good for you. That's awesome. What have you found to be the most effective?
Showing up every day, being consistent, and just being as authentic as you possibly can, and about sharing the stories of other people that you help, sharing the struggles that you have as a woman, as a business owner, because it's not like we wake up one day and everything is right. We
Yeah.
don't get it right from the start. But what you do is you step forward every day, and it's progress over perfection. As long as you continue to move forward, doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to all figure it out. A lot of
Yeah.
what I've added into my business has come from a need for my clients. So I
Mm,
evolved from finance into coaching, and I've evolved from coaching into different types of coaching,
yeah.
mindset, divorce, money, empowerment. It's really what I see that the people are out there that I interact with are struggling with. I have more clients who will come to me from my Instagram stories when I'm sharing the struggles of learning to walk again, or I'm
Mm,
sharing that I was in an abusive marriage, or that
yeah.
for a period of time I was a single mom, or that even as a very high earner, very successful, I still have my own doubts and my own challenges. So I think if you just show up as yourself every day, show the good, show the bad, show the ugly, that's going to resonate with people. And in that group of people, you're going to find the people who need you.
I love that. What's your sales process look like? So once somebody does come in as a lead, let's say through an Instagram story or a referral, what are the steps they go through for them to become a client?
So the first thing we do, we hop on a virtual coffee chat, really non-judgmental, just get to know each other because it's all about a relationship.
Yeah.
I am a very I'm not a hard personality, but I am a very bold, outspoken personality. So I'm going to challenge you because I have become as successful as I am because somebody challenged me and they
Yeah.
continue to challenge me, and that I appreciate and respect the criticism. So we
Yeah.
hop on a call. If we have a great understanding, we move into another call where we get to know each other a little bit more. And I want to make sure before I bring somebody on, I have to feel where they're at. I have to understand if they're ready to step into the next role of truly empowering themselves and moving
Yeah.
forward. Because we talk about money, we talk about a lot of things that are challenging. And then once we have that call, then I say, you know what? Maybe the best thing for you is to start in my mindset course or to start in my limiting beliefs course. Get in there with you and let's do
Yeah.
this together. So it's having a space to move them until they're ready to go like, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. I'm feeling more in control. And then if it's somebody who is really wanting to embrace their money mindset, I have a money personality quiz. We understand their financial DNA, then we really start digging in. But again, it's figuring out where they're starting from and allowing me to place them where they need to be and being there to help them move into the next level to encourage them.
I like that. So, do you enjoy the sales personally?
Let me see. I'm not really a salesperson. I think they just buy me. They
Mm,
buy access to me. And
yeah.
that means the encouragement. It means the you can do this, let's do our affirmations together. They're just buying time with me. So I don't feel like I'm selling anything. I'm just showing up for them when they can't quite completely show up for themselves yet. And then I don't leave them. I don't abandon them. They don't feel like, oh, somebody showed up to sell me something. No, I'm here for the journey. So I don't know if I'm not if I'm a really good salesman. I've made a ton of money. I'm not really sure I'm a great salesperson though.
It sounds like you come from a place of service.
Absolutely.
And that's honestly the best selling that people can do. Know what you offer is beneficial to the individual sitting in front of you, and you just try to serve, and they can feel that energy, whether it's spoken or not spoken. I love
Mhm.
that. Walk me through, if you think about your vision, let's say over the next 12 months, and your top priorities, where you want to take the company, maybe any specific performance targets, revenue targets, anything like that. What are your top priorities over the next 12 months?
So my top priority is to go more global. I do have little pockets of clients all across the world, but really just to show up everywhere that I possibly can. We're trying to figure out the best outreach to do that right now, and I have some really great minds working on that. But really is just to show up so a woman doesn't feel like she is not heard, that
Mm-hmm.
she understands she has access to me even if it's free, she has access still to somebody who's in her corner. And I really think just to further fine tune the new community that I'm building and that I'm opening up to people because I really want to create community for people who feel like they don't have community. So I
Mm,
want to be there to serve them. And then I'm ready to go to 8 figures. I've been hanging out in 7 figures long enough. It's time to get up
yeah,
there into the eight.
that's awesome. I love that. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge to making that happen?
I think just visibility. When I started out in my career, obviously we didn't have this wonderful social media way of communication. I think just to further fine tune my messaging so that women know that I get them, I hear them, and that there is not anything they're going to bring to me that I haven't either experienced or know about, because I think I've been through a lot in my life. And I think just further fine tuning the message, showing up in the places that the women that I need to serve are showing up, and we're still learning that. So I think that would probably visibility and just more laser focused on who it is that I'm here for.
Got it. What do you like? Have you guys tried any paid ads or any campaigns that way? And with
Oh, go
that,
ahead. Sorry.
have you found success with that if you have?
So we had started doing some advertising around one of my courses, and then we stopped it when we decided to make a shift into putting everything inside of a membership because
Yeah.
it's been this internal struggle with to work with me one on one may cost $25,000. But if you would have asked me 30 years ago, would I have paid $25,000? I'd have told you, I will never see $25,000, let alone pay it to work with somebody. I wanted to make a shift to where we had a membership community that was very affordable, that people could come in, set up shop and say, hey, listen, I can go here and I can learn what I need to learn for free. And then I'm
Yeah.
starting to feel better about myself. I'm starting to feel like, yeah, this is for me. I'm willing to spend $20 on myself or $50 on myself or
Yeah.
$5,000 on myself. So we pressed pause on that. We were doing a little bit through Instagram and Facebook advertising. And we were seeing a lot of impressions, a lot of interest, a lot of things along those lines. But we pressed pause on it and we're getting ready to ramp them back up again because the membership is probably ready to launch now.
Nice. That's awesome. What is the cost of the membership? Is it like a monthly subscription? What does that
It's
look like?
$47.
Nice. Okay, how can people join that?
You can reach out to me directly, Jennifer Perri, or actually Jennifer at SHERO It's going to be advertised in school. That's where it is. And it's called the Rise and Thrive Society. So if you go in and just search Rise and Thrive Society, I believe it's set up to go into right now. I got to check with my back end person, but we are literally just had a conversation on Friday about launching this week because Saturday was my birthday. So we wanted to launch it for my
Happy
birthday.
belated.
Yeah, thank you. So it should be ready to go. But best way is just to send me an email and I'll make sure you go to the right spot.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to plug your email real quick?
Yeah, in the chat
Or
or,
just for the
oh,
listener?
sure. Jennifer at Shero, SHERO, coaching.com.
Pretty easy. There you
Pretty
go.
easy.
What's one tip you would give to women listening that want to make 2025 their best year yet? I was gonna say to, I guess our listener base is founders and entrepreneurs. So female entrepreneurs that are listening that are looking to start their business in 2025 and really get off the ground and have a successful year.
I think the best thing is you never want to scale chaos. You want to know from the very beginning why you're doing it, who you're serving, and what you want to accomplish. You need to have the clarity, absolute clarity, and remember why you're doing it and what you want to see from it. And then surround yourself with the people who are going to help you get there. I am very big on establishing your own personal no manifesto, setting your boundaries, and saying, hey, listen, I'm no longer available to be there to run the snack at all the games and to be there to show up for all the stuff you need me to do. This time is about me. Get out of the stands and into the game and making sure you're setting that up so people understand this is, hey, I'm gonna create something wonderful for my life to leave a legacy. And if you're along with me on that and pushing me towards that's great, you can stay. If not, you may have to have a lot of hard conversations with people around you who are just they just no longer serve you.
Yeah, I love that. What's the best way for people to reach you? Is it just the email or is there a better way?
Email, I am very active on Instagram. So jenniferperry.official is where to find me. And that's Perry with an I. So jenniferperry.official there. If you want to hop on and have a conversation with me, say you saw this and want to chit chat, go to my calendar. It's talkwithjennifer.com.
Awesome. I love it. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your insights. This was an amazing conversation, and you're truly having a huge impact on women out there, which as a man, it bleeds into everybody's life, right? It's
It sure
helpful for
does.
everybody. So I appreciate you. If you're listening to this and you're inspired by today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.